right? It's like hairy at the terminal of the dendrite down here. See the hairy part? So those dendrites have these receptors in there for your olfactory molecules. Let's say we have approximately 1,000 different odorant receptors, approximately 1,000 of those receptors. And let's say about 4,000, each individual can sense the smell or odor, about 4,000 different kinds of these odor molecules. So when you have this odor molecule binding to the receptor in your hairs of your neurons, right? You have this activated G proteins. Remember G proteins? We always come back to G proteins all the time. So these are your receptors that activate these G proteins, which results in ion channels opening and depolarizing. So guess which ion channel will open and depolarize? Which ion channel will open? You know this. When you have the cells depolarizing, who comes in? Sodium, right? Depolarization. Potassium is repolarization. Actually, we'll look at potassium for the next one of the systems where that's the only different one where it actually also depolarizes, but that goes against nature. In general, we have sodium channels that come in and depolarize. So that's what's happening here. Sodium, calcium channels are open. The neuronal pathway here is simple. You just have the axons. You have your olfactory neurons. The axons from the olfactory neurons extend as olfactory nerves to your olfactory bulb area where they synapse with your interneurons. Axons from interneurons form olfactory tracts. Right, you have all these axons that form the tracts and they connect to the olfactory cortex. You know this. Where is the olfactory cortex? Where in your brain? Which area? Frontal? No. Temporal, right. It's in the temporal, inferior level of the temporal. So that's where it goes. So it takes from your odor molecules from your nose, right, all the way axons, interneurons, goes through your tracts up to your temporal area in the brain. Now that was olfactory. Nothing complicated, right? Pretty simple. We have taste now, which is also very simple, not too much physiology we get into. So this is taste. Sensory structures that detect taste stimuli are your taste buds. You heard of taste buds, right? Did you hear of this common knowledge? They say, when you eat spicy food, really spicy, your taste buds die. Did you hear that? You never heard that? Yeah. We actually have lots of taste buds that every day, they're gone and we replace them again. So it doesn't have to be spicy food or in general, they just have their lifetime and they're gone. So that's your taste buds. Most taste buds are located in the epithelium of papillae. Papillae is those in your tongue. You see, your tongue is not like smooth, right? It has bumps. These papillae are those bumps in your tongue, and that carries your taste buds or has lots of taste buds in there. Not necessarily though, there are different kinds of papillae. There's one kind that's a lot more numerous in your tongue that doesn't have the taste buds, but it's there to give the tongue the rough surface, for food mixing. So that's this other kind. They call it the fourth kind of papillae here. Anyway, taste buds are found on your tongue, your palate. You have your soft palate and hard palate, right? So it's in your palate. It's also in your lips. Try tasting with your lips next time. Don't use your tongue and see if it works, right? It should work, if you have taste buds in the lips. Also in your throat, you probably tried that out, when you take something like a bitter, maybe medicine, and it goes to your throat and sometimes you feel more bitter in the throat. Yeah, so we have taste buds there too. Histology of taste buds. Taste buds consist of taste cells. So your taste bud kind of looks like this, right, bump thing, and you have lots of cells in there. You have sensory cells, non-sensory cells. We have taste cells here, and supporting cells and basal cells, all those are non-sensory. So they say about 50 taste cells are there in your sensory cell of your taste bud, approximately, around there. They have taste hairs that extend into taste pores, right? So this, you're always looking at, hair now. Before we looked at olfactory, we had the dendrites and they had hair, right? That's where the receptor was. Now we're looking at taste. Also, we're looking at taste buds with taste hair, right? So basilar cells. Now we looked at basal cells before too, and it's the same thing. Basal cells are always there in your epithelium, up there to give rise to new cells when the old ones die. And we have the supporting cells that's all around your taste cells to give it all the nourishment and every protection the taste cell needs. Function of taste. Receptors on the hairs detect dissolved substances. Right, so we have the receptors, and where are the receptors again? On the hair, right? We always have these receptors. You have these taste buds, and they are in the hair up there, and they detect dissolved substances, which we call tastins, actually. 5 basic types of taste exist. We have salty, sour, sweet, bitter, and umami. This 5th kind, umami, I haven't really heard of before. I think they're adding a lot more now. So this umami came from Japan. They call it the savory taste. Kind of like salty with the little sweet, yes, savory. So that's umami, the 5th kind. And they say it's elicited by the amino acid glutamate in the food. The bitter taste, you know that. They're like alkaloids, bases, right? Nobody likes bitter. Do you guys like the bitter taste?
Yes.
You do?
I do.
Good. My mom tried to make me bitter stuff. Yeah, it's actually good for you. Sweet.
It's good for you, right?
It's good for you, yeah. Bitter stuff. Bitter gourd, yeah. They have medicinal properties. Most bitter leaves, yeah, all those have. Yeah, I know in Philippines they make the bitter gourd. They cut it and they make salad with it. It's really bitter, really bitter.
Bitter salad?
Bitter salad, yeah. And they eat it. Yeah. Then you have these sweets, which are sugars, some other carbohydrates, and some proteins. Right? Sugars. We all like sweet, obviously. Of course. Sour acids, they have this acidic thing in it, like vinegar, right? Sour. Salty, sodium ion. So these are the 5 basic taste types that we get. Function of taste. All taste buds can sense the 5 primary tastes, but tend to be most sensitive to 1. So we have this, we used to think that 1-to-1 kind of thing goes with taste, but they actually have the ability to taste all of them, the taste cells, but they are more sensitive to 1. That's where the difference is. Sensitivity to bitter substances is the highest. That's probably why the bitter taste is so strong, right? You can feel it like really strong. And they say poisons, to warn us. A lot of poisonous stuff. I mean, not that I tried any poisonous stuff, but they say it's bitter, so I take that as okay. Taste is strongly influenced by olfactory sensations. And you probably tried this before. When you try to close your nose and try to taste something, try that. Get a piece of apple and a piece of potato. Okay, and then close your